Yo, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? It's the Kitty G, and I'm back again with another video. And today we're going to be talking about something that's very, very close to my heart. Arsenal. We're going to be talking about Arsenal and how on earth did we let Arsenal? How did we let Arsenal get to this position? How did the board let Arsenal get to this position? How did the owner let Arsenal get to this position? How on earth did Arsenal get to this position? We're going to discuss that today. But first, before we do anything else, I need you guys to do me a favor. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get started. So how did Arsenal get to this position, ladies and gentlemen? We're going to get started right now. First things first, you got to remember where we were as a club. Where we were when I started becoming a fan of this club. We were winning league titles. Arsene Wenger was doing the double. We had teams with players like Anelka, Tony Adams, Patrice, what else do I need to say? Overmars. You got all these guys, David Seaman. Come on, I could just name everybody else in this picture right now, and you guys would be like, these guys are absolute legends. In addition to the team that we had when we went invincible, right? And as you can see, year by year, the level of quality in the team just started to drop. Year by year. Year by year, the level of quality in the team just started to go. And every single year that the year went by, we had less and less and less quality, right? Until you're left with the team that we have now, right? Now, where do we start? Where do we start? I feel like the first thing we got to start with is the mismanagement and everything else in the club. And the first place that it starts for me is the owner. It starts with the owner for me. For me, it starts with Stan Kroenke. I'm not even going to call him the man. It's just Stan Kroenke. Stan Kroenke is the man that has started all this. The owner is the biggest issue, in my opinion. The owner is the man who decides everything, the man who makes the paychecks, pays everybody. And you know what? We could have had a better owner. We could have had a situation where we would have had Usmanov over Kroenke. And Usmanov was part owner at the time. David Dein did introduce both of them. He is partially at fault, but at the same time, the main man who owns the club right now, who has all the decision making, is the Kroenkes, and they are a big part to blame for a lot of the situations that we're in right now. They had a choice, and they have the choice. As bad as the Glazers are, the Glazers might take money from you, but they still spend a large portion. These guys, they don't take money from us, but they still don't let us spend as much as other clubs. We're left behind consistently left behind. Right? Consistently left behind other clubs. Now that's just one thing. So to me, the owner is a big problem. The next problem, the past leadership. The past leadership has done a lot of damage to this club. The past leadership has done a lot of damage to this club. Although they've left, I feel like they've set up Arteta for failure. Right? You have a situation where you have Arsene Wenger. Arsene Wenger leaves, you bring in Unai Emery. Unai Emery, while he's there, you have Ivan Gazidis leave, Sven Mislintat leave, Raul's there. Raul ends up resigning. You also have the chief negotiator leaving, all under the stewardship of this owner, right? So once again, it gets tied back to the owner. But let me give you guys a little bit of story. Let me give you guys a little bit of backstory. Arteta was supposed to be hired way before. Now, going through all of these different managers, we've had issues. But before Arteta was hired, we had Arsene Wenger. Arsene Wenger passed the baton on to Unai Emery. And the way Unai Emery was hired was kind of dodgy itself. They interviewed the Kroenkes, and the main board interviewed 8 people. They interviewed 8 people for the job. From those 8 people that got interviewed, right, Unai Emery was not part of it. One of the people that was part of it was Ralf Rangnick. Ralf Rangnick was Sven Mislintat's recommendation. Sven Mislintat actually had concerns over Arteta getting the job. That was not his man, right? Now, Ivan Gazidis, on the other hand, Arteta was his man. Ivan Gazidis was the one that was championing Arteta every single day, right? Where Don Raul, on the other hand, the guy that ended up resigning, he's the one in the Kroenke's ear telling them, you know what, we need Emery. we need to get Emery. We need to get Emery. And at the end of the day, what ended up happening? They ended up going with Emery. They ended up going with Emery, subsequently leading to the situation that we're in today, right? Where we went from one man to the next, where we could have just gone from Wenger straight to Arteta. But you know what? Going the in-between between Wenger to Arteta gave Arteta more time and some more patience from some of the fans. Now, guys, I can see you guys commenting. I'm going to get to your comments in a second. I'm just doing it. I'm going to go through the show, and then I'm going to get to the comments, okay? Now, first things first. First things first. Let's go through this, right? They went from everything with the mismanagement in the club. I can go through it quite easily, right? Sven Mislintat. Sven Mislintat was a top recruiter, top man, doing the job all over Europe, did it for Dortmund, and came to Arsenal with high expectations. You know what? He got forced out the door by Raul, with Raul's mismanagement of the club and his control of the club. Ivan Gazidis got forced out of the club based on the fact that he wanted a new opportunity after he felt like he was the mistrust that he actually, the fact that the Kroenkes went with Raul's decision to hire Emery was the last straw for Gazidis, and that's where he said that's enough for him, right? Now the Kroenkes, they're a problem in their own, but there is a lot deeper issues at the club. The Kroenkes also wanted to give Emery a new contract after he failed in the Europa League final. Just saying, right? Just saying. But now there's bigger issues. There's bigger issues, right? There is bigger issues, people. There's bigger issues right now with the club having the situation where they have Don Raul gone, and it's Vinay, Edu, and Arteta running the club through the toughest time in world football history with COVID-19 and everything going on with COVID-19. In addition to a situation where you fire Kagawa, our chief scout, and you hire Edu, and he's basically going to Kia Jurapkin for every single scouting thing. Where we got a guy who brought us the likes of Vieira, Fabregas, and Martinelli, and now we're resorting to Edu going to Kia every 2 seconds. Absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion. Absolutely ridiculous. Now, what's the next thing? People say stop selling your best players. You know what? I completely agree. We have to stop selling our best players. We have to stop selling our best players. We have to stop selling the likes of Nazari, Van Persie, Adebayo, even Alexis. We have to stop selling our best players. But there also has to be an in-between. You can't say you have to stop selling your best players, but then still give the likes of Ozil a massive contract. Get older players like Henrik Mkhitaryan and Willian in, right? Also, giving Aubameyang a new deal that was so large. Sometimes I even thought, you know what, maybe it was best to just let Aubameyang leave. Maybe. But you know what, at the end of the day, until we stop getting rid of players like this, our top players, and getting in top talent players to replace them, we're going to have a situation where we go from a team that was invincible to a team that was still getting to Champions League, but nowhere near the levels. Nowhere near the levels. That's what ends up happening when you continue to sell your players. This is what's going to continue to happen, people. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Let's hope we can start holding on to our top players. Because if we would have held on to these guys, and we've seen the investment that we started to do with the Ozils and stuff, if we did that a little bit earlier, maybe we could have got what we needed. Maybe some of you guys can blame. Set the blame on past leadership, right? You can set the blame on Arsene Wenger, although he did give us the best of times. He did also get us in some struggling times, right? You can blame David Dean, because although he did help in those good times, he did also give us trouble, right? Now, some people say, why not sack Arteta today? Why not sack Arteta today? Some people say Arteta is the problem. Is Arteta the problem? Let's ask yourselves that. Is Arteta the problem? When Arteta is the man who has to deal with players who are not up to scratch, right? Has to deal with players who are not informed, dealing with their own family issues, right? Having to deal with stupidity from certain individuals in the team and decisions that go against him. Although we have gotten some recruitment correct during the time that Arteta is here, we've still gotten some recruitment wrong, right? He has a team that's playing a little bit happier than before. Of course, results matter with Arsenal, and being in the position that we're in, this is not a good position to be in. We're in 11th. We have 10 losses, 9 wins, 23 games, 31 points, and sitting in 11th, the bottom half of the table. This is embarrassing. I get you. But don't act like there hasn't been a little bit of progress at least. I get it. You guys, some of you guys want Arteta out. Some of you guys won't budge. Some of you guys won't budge. But of course, you have to take into a factor that COVID-19 has affected the club, it's affected world football, but it's affected Arsenal a lot in the sense that look at the situation that Arsenal find themselves in, right? They've had to let go of so much people. They've played about 27 players. That's 7 more players than the likes of Aston Villa have played. That's 6 more players than the likes of Leicester. That's 8 more players than the likes of Leeds. And some of these teams that we're facing week in, week out don't have European football also to worry about. So as much as some of you guys want Arteta out, he's not going nowhere. Because at the beginning of the season, they told him, we're going to let you live. Even if you're lower than 10th, they're going to let him live. So he's not going nowhere. Understand that you might criticize his style of play or lack of style of play, his man management. You might criticize the fact that he's playing consistent and making consistent mistakes. I hear that. But I'm not going to go Arteta out based on that. The reason why I was Emery out is because I had such high expectations from the team in the years before. My expectations have now dropped. I have now realized that this team is not as good and does not have the name that it used to have. So some of you guys need to lower your expectations a little bit because it's more delusional to say to yourself, we're Arsenal, we shouldn't be 11. At this point, yes, we are Arsenal, we shouldn't be 11, but there's circumstances that have led to us being in this situation. Once again, Kieran Tierney being injured at times, Thomas Partey being injured at times, Aubameyang not fit and firing, also having to do with his own situation, in addition to our papering over cracks by winning the FA Cup. Our expectations were raised by the fact that we won a trophy last season to the level of people thinking, even myself thinking that we can get top 4. It was a pipe dream, realistically. It was never going to happen. It was tough to even say right now, but like we're so behind. We're so behind. And you know what? The rebuild is starting. The rebuild is starting, people. They're trying to make the place a happier place to work for these guys. They're trying to get rid of some of these guys like Mesut Ozil, Kolasinac, Socrates, Mustafi. We're trying to get rid of them. We also still have to get rid of David Luiz. We can't give him a new contract, in my opinion. If we do, that's a mistake. We got to also get rid of Granit Xhaka at some point, right? But hey, I want to know what you guys think. This is not a thing where I'm trying to defend Arteta. I can see his faults and I can see where he's made mistakes. And you know what? If he was sacked tomorrow, I support the club. I don't support Arteta. But as long as he's manager, I'm going to support him. That's just what I got to say. Now let's get into the next part. Right? So we've already gone through owner, we've gone through Arteta, we've gone through leadership. Let's go through recruitment. What's the issue with recruitment? I think it's pretty clear to see that when you go from this to this, there's a slight issue in recruitment. Maybe it's not that bad a quality. This team actually made it to the Champions League. Let's look at something else. Let's look at this team. What happened in the recruitment? I'll tell you what happened. We went for short-term fixes. We went for short-term fixes in a long-term scheme of things. Football is a long-term business. You cannot try to bandage the situation with the Socrates. You cannot try to bandage the situation with the Liechtenstein. You cannot try to bandage a situation where you're losing Alexis and getting Mkhitaryan in. Aubameyang was a good pick. Good job. As much as you want academy players to do well, how many of these young academy players are going to do well, right? How many of these guys are going to do well? Saka's going to do well. Emma Smith-Rowe looks like he's going to do well. Martinelli looks like he's going to do well. I think 3 out of the 5 in this picture might do well. I don't think they're all going to do well. Then you got the leadership issue. You have to recruit leaders. You cannot expect a team with the likes of Koscielny, Granit Xhaka, William Gallas to lead you to major honors. These guys are not leaders, and they're not captain material. They cannot lead a team to a title. They cannot lead a team to win a league. You know what I mean? They cannot do that. They can't do that. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. But hey, let's go on to the next thing. A lot of you guys are telling me my mic is dead. Can you not hear me? Tell me right now if you can hear me. Next, recruitment. Yes, recruitment is an issue. When you got guys like David Luiz, Socrates, Willian, Cedric Suarez, I get you. Of course, you're going to be frustrated. I'm frustrated. But as long as they're trying to change that, as long as they're trying to make it better, as long as they're trying to improve, you know what I mean? As long as they're trying to improve. That's what I'm saying. As long as they're trying to improve the recruitment, because they have tried to improve the recruitment. They've improved the recruitment slightly with the likes of Gabriel, with the likes of Thomas Partey, with the likes of Aubameyang and everybody else coming in, Kieran Tierney. You can see that they were trying to improve the recruitment. You get what I'm saying? That's what it is for me, guys. That's what it is. Now, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Before I wrap it up, before I go any further, I'm gonna say one thing to you guys. You guys feel like, what do you think it is? Do you think it's also, could it be a mismanagement of funds? Could it just be the players are not good enough? Or could it be the ridiculous statement that it's the fans? Because people do say fans like myself. People do say fans are a problem. I'm just saying. People say fans are an issue. So, could it be the fans? Could it be the fans? You gotta ask yourself these things. Anyways, for now, we're in the Europa League. We gotta try to win it, get back into the Champions League. We gotta try to fix our team, fix our morale of the team, get the team a little bit more confident, a little bit more happy, get us back to winning things again. And the drop off from the Bergkamps, the Henrys, the Vieiras to Ozils is a big drop off. We need to get that better. And as long as we have this owner, it's going to be tough. We might need a miracle. Arteta might not be the man to give us that miracle. Arteta might not be the man that's going to do well for us in the long run. But as long as he's here, I'm going to back him. And this is what I think is going on at Arsenal. And this is how I think we got to this position. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. And just before I go, I'm going to get to some of your questions. So let's see what some of your questions, people. Let's see what some of your questions. Hello? Can you guys hear me better now? Can you guys hear me better now? Can you hear me? Clear? Yeah. Okay. My first. Okay. Oh man, you're telling me the sound quality was that bad? Okay. So tell me, guys, what is really going on? What is really going on? So which one is it? Which one is it? I'm gonna put it up. So do you think it's the owners? Do you guys think it's the owners? Put a thumbs up or thumbs down if you think it's the owners. Put thumbs up or thumbs down if you think it's the owners. I'm gonna wait for you guys to tell me. Is it the owners? Is it Arteta? If you guys think it's Arteta, put thumbs up. If you think it's Arteta's fault that we're in this position. I don't know if there's a delay, but I'm not seeing. People are saying, okay, he's saying, sack Arteta, get rid of the Kroenkes, to the dinosaur board, bring in top-class manager Ancelotti, Simeone, buy some good players. 30% owner, 30% manager, 40% players. People saying both. Okay. What else is there? Owner is where it begins. Interesting. What about the past leadership? What about past leadership? What about the fact that they've mismanaged past leadership? No, that has nothing to do with it. That has nothing to do with it, people. Okay. Recruitment. Is recruitment an issue? I would say it is. I would say recruitment is an issue. When you have players like these guys coming in, you got players like these guys coming in, it is an issue. Recruitment is a massive issue. All right. Now I don't know about you guys, but that was just my little rant and what I had to say today. People saying imagine under Ancelotti. Brendan Rodgers was linked to us before before Ancelotti. Imagine us under Brendan Rodgers. That's up to you guys. At the end of the day, I'm not Arteta out. I'm still backing the guy as long as he's manager. But when it comes down to it, I can see the faults, and I can see that some things are not his fault. All right, I can see that some things are not his fault. All right. In order for Arsene Wenger to even get to this level, he needed some luck, and he needed some players that played well. Right. It doesn't help when you have refereeing decisions going against you. It doesn't help when you have stupid mistakes happening week in, week out. It doesn't help when you have top signings coming in and having situations like COVID or injuries taking them away from your team. We can blame the players, we can blame the fans, we can blame mismanagement of funds, selling players that are the best players. We can blame past recruitment, everything else, Arteta. For me, it all goes down to the owner. The owner is the issue. The owner is the issue. And until he's gone, or until he changes his style of ownership, nothing's going to change. Anyways, people, big up to all you guys. I'm going to be doing another video tomorrow, right? If you guys want to check out the rest of, if you want to check out more of my videos, I'm going to do another video today. I'm going to do a basketball video right now. I'm just going to head out. But yeah, big up to everybody watching. Big up to all you guys. And you know, I can see you guys talking. It's not really, this was supposed to be just me ranting and talking about some stuff. But yeah, hopefully that was a little bit educational. Hopefully my audio is better than you guys thought. For some reason, my audio was not good, you guys were saying, for some of you guys. But yeah, big up to everybody watching. And have yourselves a great day, people. We're out of here.